Hello, and welcome back to the Follow Your Spark podcast. It's your host, Gina here, and I'm coming on for a special Eclipse season themed episode where we will be talking all about the void and how to feel safe and what can often be a very uncomfortable feeling place. So, what is the void? The void is that liminal space between what's known and what's next. It's the darkness before the light. It's the mystery. I know I have faced this place many times, and every single one of my coaching clients has as well. Sometimes we step into the void willingly, whether we're taking a leap of faith, maybe you are starting your own business or doing something for the first time or choosing to make another big change in your life when you don't know what's next. Or maybe the universe threw you into the void unexpectedly, maybe through a job change, you got let go, or something happened that triggered a career change, or a relationship ending that you weren't expecting, needing to move, all these big things that might happen in our life, again, by our own intentional choice or by the universe or chance or circumstances. I'm guessing you've been there too. And I know being in this space of not knowing what's next can be extremely uncomfortable. And our brain's default can be trying to figure out how to get back to the safe zone as quickly as possible. I'm just imagining being like thrown off into the deep end when you weren't expecting to be and trying to paddle your way back to shore as quickly as possible because it feels scary to be in the open ocean and the open water and not have the feeling of solid ground underneath your feet. So if you've been there before, or maybe you're there right now, stick around because this episode is going to be all about how to feel safe here. And again, why are we talking about this in eclipse season? Well, we just had a total lunar eclipse on September 7th, 2025, and we'll have a solar eclipse on September 21st. And we're literally in between these two eclipses. And eclipse season is often a time of big change. It's a catalyst for shifts or transformation or healing to happen, for things to pop off. And I know that I've experienced some unexpected things. I talked about my car randomly breaking down a week or two ago. I've seen friends and clients go through similar experiences of just changes they weren't expecting that have created big shifts, or cause them to step into the unknown, or cause them to face something about themselves that maybe they didn't really want to face. So again, if eclipse season or life is stirring up something for you right now, I hope this episode is a healing balm for you. So before we talk about what to do to navigate the void with more clarity and ease and peace, I first want to talk about why the void isn't necessarily a bad thing. And I feel like I've been telling this story so much lately, so it definitely felt like something important to share with all of you too. So at the beginning of this year, I pulled a oracle card spread that represented the heroine's journey or the hero's journey. If you're familiar with that arc of, how Joseph Campbell tells stories, there's the call of what's calling you forward in your life, whether that's some kind of desire for change or something you're aiming towards, something that's calling you forward into your next chapter. And then there's the threshold of what is the obstacle to your leaving? What's getting in your way of being able to begin the journey to begin with? And the next piece of this is the ordeal of what are the challenges that you might face along your journey? And then what's the boon or treasure you will gather on the way? And what can help you to integrate all of that when you return? So that's the theme of the oracle card spread I pulled. And the card that I want to tell you about is the one that came up when I pulled the card that represented the threshold. What was the obstacle to me leaving? And I really think this message was for the collective as well. That's why I'm sharing it with you. So the card that I pulled that was the obstacle to me leaving, this is from Kim Cran's Archetypes deck, which is an incredible, beautiful, powerful oracle card deck if you're looking for a tool like that. So the card that I pulled is the Creator. And what this card said was that the Creator is not intimidated by darkness or lack. Know that from the void, creation inevitably emerges. Make the empty room resonate with healing sounds. Generate bounty from the seeds that others have thrown away. So when I read this, I was like, I don't really get it. Like, what's the obstacle to me leaving? Is the obstacle to me leaving fear of the unknown? And at this point, I was intuitively journaling and just asking for inspired messages to come through. And the message that came through was no, it's not fear of the unknown. The obstacle to your leaving is your imagination that the unknown is unsafe, when actually it is the creator of all things. You misunderstand the void. The void is not something to fear, it's something to melt into and flow. Allow yourself to be guided by your creative spark. And that was an incredibly powerful message that came through for me in January that I remind myself of pretty much every single day, especially when I really feel like I'm in that moment of being in the void and remembering that sentiment of the void is the birther of all things. The womb, it's the darkness, it's the unknown, and trusting that is the channel of rebirth. That's the channel for incredible things to come through, and it all starts in the darkness. It all starts in the void. So to really surrender, if there's a moment when, whether I chose it or whether the universe chose it, that it feels like I am in this state of the unknown. So how do you do this? How do you develop a friendlier relationship with the void so that it's not something that feels so terrifying? In the one-on-one coaching work that I do with my clients, I take them through a spark process. And this is exactly what I want to share with you today that can help you navigate this energy, this mystery. So part 1 of the spark process, S, is about sustaining your spark. And for me, especially in terms of the void, this is a lot about nervous system regulation. Because when we're in the void, our nervous system goes into overdrive, our cortisol spikes, panic can set in. You might be waking up at 3 a.m. thinking about what have I done? All those thoughts and what ifs arise, right? I know in the many times I've stepped into the void in my life, whether it was in my 20s when I chose to move to South Korea to teach English, or in my 30s when I resigned from my corporate job to have more time and energy to spend on my business, or maybe the biggest void leap of all time for me of going on a year-long road trip. Whatever it was, any of those choices, there were definitely moments where my brain was screaming, what have you just done? What? It's like the energy of the road runner who is running off the cliff and then looks down and realizes that there's air underneath them and they're about to fall, that sinking feeling in your stomach when you feel like you've just jumped off a cliff. So that's what can happen in our bodies and our nervous systems when we are in the void, when we've taken this big leap of faith. So sustaining your spark is all about tending to your mental, physical, emotional, and spiritual well-being so that you can feel more calm in the face of chaos. And mentally, what really helps is being able to do a reality check and find these thoughts that can help bring you to a state of safety and sufficiency right now. Because again, the brain is spinning into all these worst case scenarios, most likely you're trying to figure out what's going to happen. So being able to remind yourself of how is it true that you're safe right now, even for just this moment. Maybe those thoughts sound like there's a roof over my head, there's food in the fridge, I have clothes on my back. Whatever it is, even the simplest things, even if it just feels true for the next 5 minutes or the next day, being able to ground yourself in that can help calm your nervous system and come back to this more grounded state. And there's a lot of different things that you can explore and that I typically explore with my clients of being able to answer those worst case scenario fears. So if your brain is spinning out in, oh my gosh, what have I done? And what's going to happen? And what's the impact going to be? And I'm going to go broke or this and that and the otherwise it's going to happen. Being able to bring those fears to the surface and address them. And we'll talk about that in the next part of this process. So again, sustaining your spark is about navigating your thoughts and being able to find and create thoughts that feel better, that don't send you in a state of panic and can help shift your perspective. And this is also about tending to your energy, tending to your body. A big piece of sustaining your spark is about feeling your feelings. I've recorded a whole other podcast episode about this recently, so check that out if you haven't. Feeling your feelings is so key in the void because a lot of feelings are likely going to come up. Fear, maybe sadness, disappointment, if there's some change that was unexpected. So giving yourself space to feel your feelings is huge. And someone just asked me recently, what helps me feel my feelings if they're really intense and it feels like they're hard to process? One of my favorite ways to do this is to be in nature, to go and put my back against a tree. And if I need to sob or if I need to scream or if I need to emote, whatever it is, to feel that incredibly grounding presence of the tree and trust that Mother Nature can help me release and feel safe to feel these big feelings. So if you're feeling big feelings, I definitely recommend taking yourself out in nature and allowing the earth to support you. And if you do, I always love to offer gratitude for the earth, whether you offer flowers or you offer a song or you place your hands on the tree and offer your thanks and appreciation. It's really beautiful to be in that state of reciprocity with nature if you feel like nature is supporting you. And there's a lot of other tools that you can use, again, to tend to yourself mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically. And if you are looking for inspiration, I have a free resource about my top 15 transformational tools that help me do this. You can go to ginacasbarro.com/transformational-tools to access them. So that's available to you if you're craving some more inspiration of how do you sustain your spark. The next part of the process is something that I call Phoenix mindset. This is about going deeper into that thought work and being able to catch the stories that you're telling yourself. For example, if you just went down an entrepreneurial path, if you just started sharing about your business for the first time and your brain is screaming at you, who do you think you are? Or what are people going to think if I share this story? Or I'm not ready yet. Whatever the brain is trying to tell you that feels fear, to be able to, again, catch that, bring awareness to that, and then develop a Phoenix mindset, which is about telling an empowered story about yourself, gathering evidence of where you've overcome challenges in the past, where you've risen to the occasion before, where you've navigated periods of time that felt like the void or felt like the unknown, and you were able to find your way through. How is that true? It takes practice and strengthening to build this muscle. So being able to reinforce these beliefs again and again is key to really developing this Phoenix mindset. The third part of the spark process is about activating your vision. And one thing I want to say that feels really important that I've been exploring more and more recently and has been something I've been thinking about a lot for years is this balance of having a dream, having a vision for your life that you're working towards, and also being grateful for your life right now. Because one thing I know is that if we attach our happiness, our joy, our satisfaction, our feeling of success to something external, that feeling will never come because we'll always be moving the carrot further and further and further out. When you've created the business level of success that you want, there's going to be a next level of success. When you manifest the relationship of your dreams, there's going to be something else that you want. And it's going to keep going if you always attach your level of happiness to your external circumstances. So, a key for activating your vision first is finding gratitude in the here and now. And I think about that too of seeing your life clearly, activating your vision for how you want to see and experience your life in your current reality now as it is. What can you be grateful for? What can you focus on? How is what you have right now something that you dreamed about a year ago or 5 years ago or 10 years ago? Really being able to activate that part of your vision is so key. So if you're in the void right now and it feels like you're so far away from some future state that you desire, I really invite you to explore what can you be grateful for right now? And I know, especially if you're just going through some kind of like unexpected change, a job loss, a relationship loss, something like that, it can be really challenging to find the gratitude in the here and now. And this isn't about being Pollyanna and not allowing yourself to feel your feelings. That's really important too. And even being able to, again, bring it back to the here and now, these tools for sustaining your spark. How is the tea that you're drinking delicious? How can you enjoy the feeling of the sun on your skin in this moment? Whatever it is, being able to come back to this present moment and find the feelings that you desire or that you think reaching some future state is going to give you, and practice feeling them now. Practice feeling like you've already arrived in this moment and that you don't have to get to some future state in order to be happy. And this is where the yin yang and the polarity and the duality comes in, because I believe that's incredibly important. And I also believe in the power of our imagination and the power of our desires and the power of being able to dream something new into existence. And this isn't about holding on to that dream with desperation, with graspiness, with clinging to something so tight like a death grip that you strangle it, before it even has a chance to survive. It's about holding your vision with open hands. So when I think about activating your vision, it's about activating those desires. So if you're in this void space, giving yourself permission to dream without attachment from a place of possibility and just asking yourself this question, wouldn't it be nice if fill in the blank, and letting yourself play. So if you're in this mysterious state where you don't know what's next, just being able to answer, wouldn't it be nice if I actually found a new job that I liked better than my old job? Wouldn't it be nice if this unexpected change in my relationship gave me more free time to pursue desires and hobbies and passions that I have? Wouldn't it be nice if me sharing about my business led to incredible connections and I was able to support people transform something in their lives? Wouldn't it be nice if, I don't know, fill in the blank, whatever it is for you, giving yourself that space to dream. And it's about dreaming in such vivid detail that you can see it, you can feel it, you can really imagine it, and it comes to life. And it's also about asking yourself, why? Why does this matter? So if you took an intentional step out into the void to share your business, why does it matter for you to do that? Why does it matter for you to keep walking into the unknown when you feel scared, when you don't know what's going to happen? Why should you keep going? Connecting to that why is going to help you get past the fear and keep moving and keep that momentum going. Or maybe you want to move to a new city, to a new place, and you're in the process. And again, the details aren't coming together yet. Can you come back to your why? Why was it important for you to choose that city? Why was it important for you to make that move? What's the why that you can come back to that can reignite the fire for why you made that choice in the first place? That's what activating your vision is all about. The next piece of this is about redesigning your reality. So often when we think about our dreams or desires, what we want next, it feels very out there, very future oriented, feels very far away, versus redesigning your reality is about creating that reality in the here and now. So exploring how to make changes in your physical environment, how to make changes, whether even in your dress, in your hair, how you look, what objects you interact with on a daily basis, what imagery and artwork and symbolism you hang on your walls that can help you feel the way that you want to feel now. So again, if you're building this business, how do you want to feel as you're building the business? Do you want to feel passionate? Do you want to feel connected to the people you're here to serve? Do you want to feel empowered? Do you want to feel inspired? Being able to ask yourself those questions of how do you want to feel and how do you think that future person will feel, and how can you help yourself feel that way now? What can you surround yourself with that can help you bring all of these things into reality now? Because all we ever have is now. There's never going to be some future state that we reach. It's always now. So being able to make these changes in your environment, in your current reality, is huge and can impact everything. Our thoughts are one way to inspire new feelings and new actions, and also our environment can inspire a shift in our feelings, a shift in our thoughts, a shift in our actions. So if you're in the void and you want to feel safe, that's something interesting to reflect on as well. What helps you feel safe? Does reminding yourself that you have a supportive family or network of friends make you feel safe? Does your connection to nature make you feel safe? What helps you feel safe? And how can you surround yourself with things that remind you of that? Whether hanging pictures on your walls of your friends or family members that maybe remind you that they're just a phone call away, or bringing in items from nature, branches, flowers, different things that remind you that, oh yeah, going for a walk really helps me. And it can be a sign, a trigger that helps you take those actions that help you feel that way. This is also about not underestimating the value of joy, the value of savoring this moment. Again, maybe it's you buy yourself a special coffee cup, and every time you drink coffee from this coffee cup, you're admiring its beauty and your coffee tastes better. And maybe you allow yourself to prepare it slower. That's another tool to help bring you to this moment. Because all of the fear that comes when we're in the void is so often from future tripping, from imagining worst case scenarios or thinking about all the anxiety of the things that might happen in the future. So anything that you can do to bring yourself back to the here and now will again help you sustain your spark, calm your nervous system. And the power of doing that is that when we're in a heightened emotional state, when cortisol is high, it is much harder to think clearly. If you can imagine a time when you were anxious and trying to solve a problem, I'm guessing it was probably more challenging than when you are calm. It's like soldiers training for combat. They train so that they can be calm in the face of danger. So if our brains are associating the unknown with danger, it's about being able to train our brains, train our bodies, train our energy that we are actually safe, and doing this in a holistic way: mind, body, spirit. The last piece of the spark process is about kinetic confidence. And what can often happen in the void is that, again, we're in that state of fight or flight. We feel like we don't know what to do. It might feel like getting out of this place is going to take so many steps. So therefore, we feel paralyzed, we feel stuck, we feel held back from taking any action. So kinetic confidence is being willing to build confidence through motion, through action, being willing to take it one step at a time. So if you're in the void and your brain is panicking about how far it seems like you have to go, being able to ask yourself, what is one baby step I might be able to take to move forward? And to be able to trust your intuition and develop a connection with your intuition to see what is that inspired action you would take from that place of having a phoenix mindset, of being as grounded and clear as possible in this moment, feeling safe and sufficient, knowing you're okay right now, you have a calmer nervous system state, and then being able to tune into your heart and ask, what's one step forward I could take? And even if you can't see 20 steps forward, even if you can't see the end destination, being able to trust just the next step and just the next step and just the next step. And again, a big piece of kinetic confidence for me is about developing a relationship with my intuition, because I feel like a part of the void that can feel the most terrifying is when our brain says, I don't know what to do. And it's scrambling, looking for the perfect solution or someone who can tell me the perfect plan. What's the way out of this? If someone could just tell me what to do, then I would do it. Is oftentimes, I know how I've sometimes felt in the past, and what I hear from clients also, like trying to find and wanting to find that perfect solution. And one of my favorite ways to develop a relationship with my intuition is to be able to track signs and evidence of what happens when I trust it, when I follow it, when I get an intuitive nudge or breadcrumb to take a step, and being able to track what happens and actually celebrate the journey and celebrate the steps along the way, so that when my brain tries to tell me I don't know what to do, I can remind it, hey, look, I didn't always know what to do. And when I was willing to trust the next step, these are all the beautiful things that have happened. It's about finding a new perspective. Intuition development is something that I go really deep in with my coaching clients because I think it is so important to be able to let go of having the perfect plan and needing to know all the steps in advance and being willing to trust yourself. So if this feels challenging, if it feels like you don't have a connection with your intuition yet, or it's not as strong as you want it to be, please know that this is a muscle that you can build. And the more you exercise it, the more you track it, the more you focus on what happens when you have followed your intuition, the stronger it will be. And kinetic confidence, like pretty much all of these tools, is about enjoying the journey instead of being focused on the destination. Finding joy in the here and now and really seeing what can you appreciate, what can you be grateful for, what can you celebrate about yourself and your life and the actions that you're taking every single day that can really fuel you and help you feel the way that you want to feel now instead of waiting until later. So that's the whole spark process that I really believe can help you navigate the void. And one last thing that's coming to my mind that I think is incredibly supportive if you're in this void period right now, this imagery of quicksand just came to my mind. So from everything I know about quicksand is when you step into it, if you fight it, it sucks you down faster. And what actually helps is to relax, is to trust, is to move slowly so that you can navigate out of this place. And I feel like that's really similar to the void, that the more we resist our current circumstances, the more you fight what is, the harder it gets. Because our nervous system is high, our brain feels foggier, our heart is beating faster, it's harder to think clearly. I was just talking to a client today that so often we make things so much harder for ourselves because we're fighting, because we're forcing, because we're pushing. When in reality, if we are able to relax, if we're able to melt into the darkness and flow, like my intuition told me at the beginning of this conversation, that's when you're able to navigate the void with so much more ease. And when you do that, what becomes possible is that you don't give up. You don't give up on yourself. You don't give up on your dreams. You don't turn back even when things feel scary. So again, maybe you took some leap of faith. You moved to another state, or you changed jobs, or you started your own business. When you're able to feel calm and grounded, or more calm and grounded in the void, and be willing to take things one step at a time, you inevitably grow. You inevitably move yourself along this path and discover new things. Whether the direction you originally thought turns into something beautiful or it redirects you somewhere else, you discover that through the journey. You discover that through emotion. And even if you're moving slow, it's okay. You don't have to race through the void. You don't have to fight to get out of it as quickly as possible. It's actually possible to feel grateful in the in-between, to feel safe in the mystery, to move on your hands and knees if you need to. You don't have to run. So I really want to leave you with that reminder as well, to be gracious with yourself and let go of the pressure or force to get to your imagined destination as quickly as possible. And remember, that's about enjoying the journey. and finding the Phoenix mindset thoughts that can help you believe you're capable of navigating these challenges. You've overcome them before and you can overcome them now. And reminding yourself why you're safe in this moment exactly as it is. So I hope this episode today helped you see the void from a different perspective. And I know that it can be extremely challenging to navigate this place alone. I know the thoughts in your mind can be loud, and it can be so much easier to have support on this journey as you're going through this mysterious in-between space. So if you are craving support, guidance, accountability, someone that can help you see things from a different perspective, this is exactly the kind of work I get up to with my one-on-one coaching clients. And right now, as we're in Eclipse season, I'm offering a really special opportunity for you listening to this podcast right now of special Eclipse season clarity calls. This call is all about activating your vision, being able to answer that question of wouldn't it be nice if, and give yourself the space to dream about what you really desire, and then exploring what's getting in the way. What are the thoughts coming up that are trying to hold you back or keep you in that fear space? And then what can help you move forward? All these Spark tools I just shared with you, there's ways to apply them in really personalized methods for you. So we'll discover what that could be. And then on this call, I'll also be pulling oracle cards for you for Eclipse season that can unlock whatever intuitive messages you need most right now to navigate this season with more clarity and ease. So if you're craving support, if you wish you had someone to talk to right now about whatever it is that's going on in your life, if you're ready to take an intentional step into the void and it feels scary and you want some help, this call is for you. Go to ginacasbarro.com/eclipse clarity call to find a time that works for you. Again, eclipse season is this beautiful liminal space where who we walk in as does not have to be who we walk out as. So if you are craving growth, if you're craving change, if you're craving transformation, now is an incredible time to focus intentional time and energy in this process of self-exploration and discovery and being able to ask yourself these important questions of what do you want? What do you desire for yourself, for the world, for your life? And what inspired actions can you start taking to walk towards that vision while enjoying your life now? So if your heart is leaning in, if you're feeling like, yes, that is something I would love to explore, I would love to hop on a call and see what that could be like together. All right, my friend, I'm wishing you a beautiful, transformative eclipse season, and I will talk to you soon.